Learning about history at school, who doesn't know about the Industrial Revolution? The same revolution that made our living quality today to be very convenient. The smartphone and laptop we are bringing everywhere today was all thanks to this very Industrial Revolution. That is why today I'm Audy
and I, Akilah, will be discussing the Industrial Revolution briefly through this video using the chance given by our lecturer, Sir Ichwan Thoha, as the final project of Fashion Society subject Winter 2022 in Lasalle College, Jakarta. The Fashion Society class taught us about the fashion history and their fashion icon that revolves around the society starting from the Romantic era until today. The objective of this video is to share what we have learned in Lasalle with you guys and to make people know a little bit more deeper about the Industrial Revolution and IT Revolution.
Now then, shall we start?
So the Industrial Revolution was a period of major industrialization and innovation during the late 1700s and early 1800s. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain and quickly spread throughout the world. The American Industrial Revolution, commonly referred to as the Second Industrial Revolution, started sometime between 1820 and 1870. The period saw the mechanization of agriculture and textile manufacturing and a revolution in power, including steamships, railroads that affected social, cultural, and economic conditions.
Yes, true. The Industrial Revolution refers to an era that saw economic production shift from small scale, relatively localized production based on individual skills and craftsmanship by artisan to large scale. To add to this, the Industrial Revolution shifted to the center of economic activity from agriculture to industry and manufacturing.
But today, we're focusing on two things of the Industrial Revolution, namely
Transportation and communication.
In the transportation industry, it began by a Scottish inventor named James Watt in 1975, who invented a steam engine. Watt's first engine was used to primarily pump water and air into and out of mines. At this time, steamboat was made and a railroad was created using steam power to run the locomotives.
As time goes by, industrial development is slowly getting sophisticated, starting from carriages into bicycles, steamboats into automobiles, and the first ever airplane that was made by the Wright siblings into the one that we have today. And now we will go deeper into the percentage about the taken transportation. Transportation in the current era has been innovating from the era of the Industrial Revolution. Based on the data behind us, 62% people travel by air, 15% people travel by water, and 23% people travel by land. And as you guys can see, behind us are some comparison photos between the industry in the past and high fashion today.
Now we move on to the communication industry. The first time the communication industry appeared because the population of both UK and the US expanded immensely in the 1800s. Thus, new forms of communication devices that could cover great distances were invented to keep pace with this immense population growth. In earlier times, people communicated through the cable phone that was still limited and quite expensive at that time. Compared to now, people nowadays have things called chat and email to send their messages. Even the call that was supposed to only deliver our voices can now also portray their face through the camera on the phone. All of them are done using the internet.
Nowadays, more than half of the human population are already using the internet for their daily life. Percentage of global internet usage, 59%. That means 59% of the human population, there is 4.66 billion active internet usage, and among them, media social was used by 57.6% of those internet users. In Indonesia in particular, 73.7% of the population are internet users.
And this is the rough timeline of other important inventions founded on the earliest Industrial Revolution. From flying shuttle in 1793 to yarn spinning machine in 1767 that made producing fabrics to be a lot easier than before. Car in 1769 to help people move from one place to another without the railroad faster and easier. Steamboat in 1769 for faster and easier water transportation, and loom in 1785 to weave the woven fabric. Cotton gin in 1793, battery in 1800 as a temporary electric energy, telegraph in 1844 to send a letter faster, record player in 1877, for listening to recorded music anytime they want. Electric lamp, 1879, that triggered a massive change in the way human uses electricity. And lastly, Kodak camera, in 1888, to capture memories at the moment humans want to remember rather than painting them. Oh yeah, Audy, what about the fashion comparison?
Yes, of course, we won't forget about that one. We will also discuss fashion comparison since this is a fashion society class. Starting from the picture behind us, which is labor, factory workers often labored 14 until 16 hours per day and 6 days per week. In their work time, they often use clothing with a tailored silhouette and also trousers. Compared to today's fashion era, they modified it into something more editorial and high fashion.
And now we have this online shopping. Who doesn't shop online nowadays? People during the first to third industrial revolution still shop directly at the store with physical goods on display. They haven't really tried to use the internet to sell things. But nowadays, everything is sold online. Though there are still many physical stores out there, unless they're required to see the goods in person, they will buy them online. Our lifestyle really does change a lot thanks to this, isn't it?
Next, we have utility style versus cyber style. Utility style is basically a style that was originally intended for a particular activity, while cyber style is more like a robotic style or fashion, or something that is IT based.
And last but not least, we have Thomas' invention, which is a light bulb. Thomas Alva Edison was the first man who created a light bulb. But what we don't know is, light bulb or lamp could be interpreted in the fashion industry as we can see in the picture behind us.
So, we have come to the end of our discussion. Thank you to our lecturer, Mr. Ichwan Thoha, who has taught the history of fashion from the Romantic era until the 2000s. During this lesson, we came to know that today's fashion lifestyle is much inspired from the past. In this predetermined theme, this is a favorite item. What we like is Thomas' invention.
Because the idea gives a different impression from regular fashion. Once again, thank you to our lecturer for teaching us. I'm Akilah.
And I'm Audy.
We will see you again on another occasion.
Bye!